1.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
And we're live. We're
Livebrush.
live. What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, no song this time? Holy crap.
Oh, my bad. We're up around Livebrush. It's just, I'm sorry. It's just a web crunch is like killing my computer here.
Oh, yeah, man. You're web crunched. Yeah, you know
I
what?
know.
We'll just warn them right now. We're going to go in and out of fidelity here, folks. This is what we're delivering today. This is what you have to do when you're painting a great painting. Sometimes you got to squint and blur everything so that you can see the composition better.
Yeah, my apologies, everyone. I don't know what's going on my internet today, so I could be a slideshow.
Yeah, I'll carry it. Okay, I got this. We already got a good question. Why does the song slap so hard? Well, it was composed and created by none other than Ray Bonilla. That's why. That's why it's such a good song.
Oh, the intro song. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's called being. Yeah. You've never really listened to it.
I don't even know what it sounds like. It's got like, you know, it's got real sort of like. Yeah, that's it. It's like like that, right?
That's the I think that's the Batman theme to Adam West.
Oh yeah, that's what it sounds like, right?
That's Bruce Timm's Batman, but I like the effort. I like the effort.
I think that was Danny Elfman's Batman, but whatever.
Oh God. Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was Danny Elfman's. Batman.
So we're back, everybody.
Yes, we're back, everyone. Welcome back.
Coming to you in classic 3x4 bulb screen resolution.
Yeah, my God.
What are you working on?
I'm looking at my own stream. Dude, I am working on...
Don't look at it. It's like staring into the sun. Don't look at your own stream.
I'm like looking at it, man. It is... it actually helps, actually. So I'm working on my comp again, my digital comp. It looks a lot better.
Okay.
Lower res than it does higher res.
It's the squint test. It's the squint.
So thank you, WebCrunch. So I'm drinking. Yeah. So what about you, man?
I just got a hey there, Mr. Raphael. I am drinking an old fashioned because I'm old fashioned.
That is a bunch of nonsense.
Sorry, I was just doing a little advertisement for old fashions. You know what? I like the bitters. I like the whiskey. I tend to make my old fashions with scotch because that's how I prefer that to the sweetness. So
yeah. So what are you working on? And then we're going to talk about.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let's get down to business.
And then we'll talk about old fashions. I have a hot take on that.
Oh great! Here we go. Okay, Jesus. So I am working on trying to find my friggin' paper towels. Okay.
You're working on paper towels.
I'm working on paper towels. I like these blue paper towels, everybody. The shop paper towels that you can find in the hardware store. So I'm working on Dragon. I'm working on Red Dragon Man again. I think I threatened the stream last week by saying that I might work on it again if it dries in time. And guess what? It did. So we're good to go. I oiled out right before the stream started. And if you folks don't know what oiling out is, that is when you apply an incredibly thin layer of oil to the top of your painting. And that brings all the darks back to life, and it allows you to paint back into the painting and give it you get sort of a wet and wet look because you're mixing into transparent medium. And I use linseed oil to do this. So that's what I'm doing. I am back on Mr. Red Dragon. What are you up to, man?
I already said what I was up to.
Oh.
I'm working on this comp.
Well, tell me again.
I'm working on I'm working on this comp in Photoshop. It is, I guess I should, not that anybody can see it. I just realized that. Where is it? There it is. So basically this was a 9x12 acrylic and oil painting that I painted on the stream. And now what I'm doing is I'm painting on top of it because I am painting a study or a comp or a finished version in preparation for 30 by 40
Oh, this is gonna be a big boy.
painting. Yeah, it's going to be a big boy. So I got to work everything out so that I could just have fun and not hate my life.
So this is part of prepping ahead of time.
Yeah, I realize if I don't if I go in thinking like, well, I'm just going to copy everything off the reference, I'm just going to hate my life and want to throw my canvas across the room. So, or just never paint the painting. Whoa, look at that thing.
Boom! Well, look at all that orange. It's looking good.
Yeah. I think, and I'm done. So planning this out allows me to not get caught up in, too much detail work and whatnot. So, which I'm happy. The less work I have to do, the better.
Oh, hey,
it's been something that I've actually been messing around with over the last, like, what would you say, like 6 months?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And I think you're getting it in a great place.
Well, thanks, dude.
It's good to go. Just do it. Just paint it.
No, this thing is not ready. I can go in. I'm gonna need a lot. I'll be needing old fashions if I'm gonna be. Going in. I think I'm ready to do that.
I was gonna. So Raphael, I am not using Liquin. I tend to not use that anymore. I'm trying to stick with just the Geneva paints and keep the poisonous stuff out of my basement studio with very little airflow. So yeah, just linseed oil, no Liquin. In fact, you know what? I don't know about you, Ray, but I don't really like oiling out with Liquin because once you get Liquin that thin, it gets tacky in like 10 seconds.
Dude, it's so, it's so fickle. Like, it's so fickle. Unless you're... So I was using a good amount of it to oil out, plus alkyds, because I was racing to get this painting done because I needed to send it out to the framers. I just dropped off a new painting. Actually, that painting I think I showed you, which was the larger version of that painting that I finished, that I was working on the entire second season. So for those of you who remember that from the ground up video when I was working on the color comp of it, I finished the 18 by 36 version of it. And I'll be showing it too once I get it back from the framers and photographed and everything like that. But I had to paint with Liquin, and like it was tacking up midday. I was starting in the mornings and I would paint through, and if I like took a break or something and came back, it'd be tacking up.
Yeah, and then it's good luck. You got to let it sit now because you can't do anything with it.
Right, or just paint thicker over it and just reconstitute the paint. And so it works if you're just painting nonstop on something, but like you just have to be careful because you realize that the drying time really does interfere with the body of the paint. You completely loses all of its creaminess and like handling properties and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. Do you find that too? Like it just turns into this like you're just scraping stuff.
It's too fast. I like fine detail more.
Yeah,
because it's a little slower, and then you can also cut because fine detail's the same consistency, like same viscosity as linseed oil. I can cut it in half, so I'll even cut the fine detail with linseed oil, and then I'm working in like a place that's actually manageable. Because it's just regular original Liquin's way too fast, and then if you use too much of it, it's like your paints just are way too transparent.
Yeah. It's like smearing strawberry preserves over your entire painting surface.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. The painting with strawberry preserves. No one's gonna be able to do that. It's not good.
Are you a fan of strawberry preserves?
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Oh
still
yeah.
okay. All right.
I used to use them. I used to be a bartender, and man, strawberry preserves. You'd be surprised how much of that stuff you put in things that are made behind the bar,
You're kidding me.
and everything. Daiquiris,
What?
strawberry margaritas, strawberry lemonades, strawberries.
Wow. I'm impressed. Is it like the sugar content? Is that way?
Yeah, I mean, it's really sweet. Yeah, it's really sweet.
Dude, I had no idea. Yeah, I love strawberry preserves. I grew up like I don't like strawberry jelly. I don't know. Yeah. So, but
Like,
I
well,
ran
you
into
mean like strawberry, like
strawberry
jam?
jam.
Jam?
Yeah. I mean, like I think it's strawberry preserves is superior to that if you're gonna have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I really don't have
Oh
peanut butter
yeah,
and jelly sandwiches. I have peanut butter and strawberry preserve sandwiches, and I just realized
you're hardcore, dude.
this. Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I think that's a good way to go. You want to have the nice richness, and you get a little more of that acid. You know, breaking up the intensity of the peanut butter.
So I got to write this down. This is good stuff. I went to I studied abroad in England when I was in undergrad, and I remember telling people about strawberry PB&J, and they were like, "What?"
Oh, because you didn't put like Marmite or whatever on your
Yeah, I
sandwich.
don't. They were horrified to find out that peanut butter was combined with strawberry jelly.
Dude, this happened to my brother too. He did like a rowing when he was doing rowing a lot. He did like a rowing trip in Germany, and he introduced the kids he was with to peanut butter and jelly, and they were like, "This is insane. What are you doing? Why would you ever put that combination on food?" But they were
Isn't that
blown away.
crazy?
They were blown away once he did it.
See,
People
Sometimes
say
you gotta,
and people say colonialism's bad. Bringing peanut butter and jelly to the world. Although I guess in the perils of evil colonialism, they did bring Vegemite and Marmite to the world,
Oh God!
and I don't think that was a gift. No offense.
No, that was
no
not.
offense, England.
Okay, like I don't know. I don't want to lose our Australian audience.
Yeah.
I've tried Vegemite, man. I've tried it.
I've tried it a bunch.
It's not
Kieran
for me.
Yanner, my friend Kieran Yanner, has tried to convince me that it's good, and I don't know if he's here listening, but Kieran, it's not. There's no amount of butter you can mix it with to make it good.
It's people cutting it with butter.
I think so. He had mentioned like you want to cut it with a little butter, but you also want to put the Vegemite on like incredibly thin, like a couple atoms
Yeah.
thick. And it's like,
Yeah.
so your jar of Vegemite basically is lasting you an eternity.
See, I didn't even see like my first Vegemite was like out of what looked like a toothpaste tube.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
You went to, that's right. Because your brother went to school in Australia, right? So he brought you back some stuff, or did you go?
No, I met some Aussies like on a ferry to like from Athens or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And it was like
Over in Europe.
Vegemite, yeah, over in Europe, and they're like, oh yeah. It was like Vegemite. I travel everywhere with it.
Okay. So they had travel Vegemite. Wow.
They had travel Vegemite.
It is
And
like
you would
beef.
think-
It's like beef bouillon. That's what I was equating it to. Like you have your own little package of soup that's in paste form.
I know, but Tyler, we're not spreading it across like toast and like everything. I'm not like taking beef bouillon and just
No,
like.
I tried it on everything I could. There was no combination that worked. I couldn't find a combination.
Having it with the slice of sourdough. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't throw some beef bouillon on it.
I
On
tried
sourdough.
I tried everything I could. Put it on eggs. I put it on like sausages.
You took
I put it in mashed
Beef
potatoes.
bouillon or beef bouillon or
Vegemite.
or Vegemite.
Vegemite.
Oh.
When I was in Australia, I was like, okay, I'm gonna find the application for this. And
Not even mashed potatoes.
No.
Incredible. Incredible.
It's too like sour. I don't know what it is. It's like
Well, it's seaweed, right? Isn't it from like seaweed?
that's what I heard. It's like made from like fermented seaweed or yeast or something. It's like fermented yeast or anyways, it doesn't work. I couldn't find a combination. And it's supposed to be on toast. That didn't work immediately. That was the first one I tried.
Anyways, it doesn't work.
I know, Lord Adornable. I am banned in yet another country.
Dude, it's all right. That, but you said it was in England though.
No, I did in Australia. I mean, I've had.
I know, but what
I
was
tried
it
the
like,
I tried the English version. The what's it called? Marmite. Is that what it's
okay,
called?
so Marmite's the English version.
Yeah, I tried it.
God.
I tried it.
Okay.
It wasn't good. It's just, you know what? Let's just leave it at that. We have things they probably can't stand, so I get it.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly. But they haven't had strawberry preserves. Yeah, you know what though? Like they like their preserves over there, especially like in Wales and stuff on scones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, this is where I was like, you put it on scones, just add some peanut butter on it. Peanut butter, oh my God, peanut butter and jelly on scones? Are you kidding me?
And I'm glad we brought this up because, no, but Branzolas. Hey, Branzolas. I think you're a new chatter. No, not marmalade. Marmalade is like jam. Marmite is like
Right.
Vegemite, but in England. It's like the real salty, savory, umami something. But like I said, doesn't work.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
we got to talk about something. We got to give them some content because half of our video is like.
Yeah,
looks
no,
like
no. This is a radio show today. This is a radio show.
My video looks like it's got like a toothpaste tube of Vegemite smeared all
No,
over
man,
it.
this is cool. It's like you're like got an NFT going on over there, you know? This like it's pixelated on purpose for the NFT market.
Right. Yeah, I'm just working on variations. Here's another one. Here's another one. Dude, yes. Oh gosh. That's too funny. It's our first NFT stream. That's what it was.
Yeah, this is it. Brought it to you today, folks.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So yeah, shoot, man, I don't know. We painted ourselves into a corner here with the we put us in a place where we have nowhere to go, nothing to talk about.
I'm just
the
like,
old
I'm
Vegemite corner.
I'm watching my bit rate just like get elbow dropped.
It looks good, man. Looks good. Looks real good.
That's the pre-mixed old fashioned talking.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. You know, I gotta say, I do not like bitters.
Oh, okay. That's why you were kind of poo-pooing it before the stream.
Yeah. I just don't like bitters.
This is my thing. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. No. Tell me.
So if it's man, you know, I don't want to get in trouble with this. I believe in like, hey, listen, I've had really good mixed drinks. I just don't like bitters. I just think they like.
You're not gonna get in trouble. This is a safe place.
No, but it's just like you just ruined my scotch or my whiskey. Like,
oh, I see.
If I'm gonna have whiskey, it just needs to be good. Like, I'd rather spend the money on really good whiskey than an old fashioned, like dolling up cheap whiskey.
Yeah, I mean that's the point, right? Is you are dolling up cheap whiskey because you're adding simple syrup to it, making it really sweet, and then you're like, oh, I made it too sweet, so now I got to bitter it with bitter. It's just you know, it's like the drink itself. It shows you the backstory of what happened.
It's like a scramble to make something palatable because you can't afford like decent whiskey.
But
Hey,
here's my comment.
whatever works.
I used to hate old fashions, but now I'm like a really big fan of them. And it is because of the bitters. So like I'm on the opposite end. Like I put way more bitters.
Oh, okay.
There's this like in the mixology world, I guess, you can do it's usually like 6 dashes of bitters is what you're supposed to put in. I usually make them myself. I'm drinking a pre-made one, but I usually make them myself. And now a dash, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 dashes, but a dash is either two ways. There's 2 philosophies. A dash is 1 shake of the aromatic bitters is 1 dash, or 1 dash is 6 shakes. I am of the 6 shake variety, so I put a lot of bitters into my my drinks.
What?
Yeah.
So a dash is one shake.
No. I mean, so some people think a dash is 1 shake, but in reality, a dash is 6 shakes of the little bitters.
So you're putting 6 dashes. So you're having.
I'm doing 6 big drops.
36 shakes.
Oh yeah,
of bitter.
Basically, just I tear the top off of that thing and I pour in half an ounce.
I mean,
it's the bitters. The bitters makes it. I don't. My dad used to always have bitters in the house when we were younger, and I was always like, "What? That's the first of all, it's called bitters, so I'm gonna hate it, right? Because it's bitter." And he loved it, and apparently, now that I've learned.
Don't blame your dad on this.
No, I'm not blaming him. I'm saying when I was a kid, that was crazy to me, and now I understand. Now I understand.
I met your dad a couple of times and spent some quality time with him. I think that story's fabricated. And if he did have bitters in the house, it was for a good reason and it wasn't for consuming. Maybe it was like...
It's like a medical treatment. Yeah.
A medical treatment or something.
Probably. Speaking of my parents, it's my mom's birthday today.
Hey.
Happy birthday to my mom in the chat, everybody.
Tyler's mom. Wow.
F in the chat. F in the chat.
Wow.
Okay. We got Lord of Dornables throwing out an existential question. Okay. Do you think being an artist is an inherently lonely profession? Oh boy. Yeah.
Lord of Dornable, considering the topic of discussion that's been captivating us, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why you would ask such a question.
Wait, what was that?
I said you got a sick ass wife out of it, though.
That's true. I got a sick ass wife out of it, as Kate says, over here in the peanut gallery. And she's true.
Yeah, right. We got. Yeah, Kate could be right, sure, but
Ray says Kate could be right.
I don't know. I mean, I got like 57 kilobytes up, so anything could sound good.
It's definitely not helping your internet today, that's for sure.
Oh my God, that's too funny. Well, yes, it's a lonely profession, but I don't know if it's lonely. You just have to like to spend a lot of time by yourself. Does that make sense?
No, it's true. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like, oh boy, we're so lonely. We're just
solitary.
I think to get to where you get as a professional artist, there's like a significant amount of time that you have spent with just by yourself. So it's
you're not alone. You're with your art, but
yeah, I say it's like less loneliness and more like you're just comfortable being by yourself working on stuff.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. That's like, yeah, I 100% agree with that.
And it's not like there aren't like social butterflies in our community that are artists. They're totally
yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
But there's a certain amount of like acceptance that you have to have with the fact that you're going to be just sitting alone, quiet with your stuff.
And by the way, I mean that's actually like, I know has deterred people from who have good, who have an aptitude for it, but just like being an artist, like the production side of making work and stuff, is just not for them, because it's just the loneliness part. Or that's why I like teaching. Yeah, Craig Nelson actually was well, I don't mention him enough, but teacher of mine at the Academy of Art, he once told us um, that he started teaching because he missed talking to people, so
Yeah.
he got lonely, and so that's why he teaches, because he likes interacting with people and whatnot, but he likes spending a lot of time with his artwork. So it's kind of a balance too, as well. I mean, hell, look at us, we're live streaming. I mean, we as when we like chatting with each other and hanging out with everyone in the chat and stuff. So
Yeah, like there's a
there's
certain amount of it we need as social creatures.
yeah,
But
but
someone like Craig Nelson, man, yeah, of course. Jeez. That dude
yeah, I
can't
know.
be, that guy can't be by himself for too long.
No, everything about him is fast. Everything talks fast. He's just like, I think he's like 70,
Oh my gosh.
and he's still running like 7 miles every other day or something like that, and
What?
like
Wow.
traveling the world and stuff and doing
Still going.
workshops.
He's just full of, he's like, like Ian McCaig, just like full of energy.
Oh yeah, he was doing Friday every. Remember, he did 100 for 2 years, every Friday. I started during the pandemic. He painted a painting. He did a free 3 hour demo, or hour and a half, 3 hours,
Wow.
or something like that. And he would paint like an entire 24 by 30 or 30 by 40 painting in that time.
Good Lord. That's, well, I didn't take his class, but you told me all about it. He's all about putting the hours in and making as many pieces as he can. That's
Yeah, and
his
being
thing,
efficient
right?
too. Yeah, he's a big efficiency.
It's like it
person,
trains
too.
your efficiency, right, by doing that many pieces.
And I mean, he's the first to say like these aren't finished pieces, but they have they're just studies for him. But it's a nice challenge. But I've seen him do 25-minute paintings that are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're broad, but they're really selective and extremely well edited, and yeah.
And you
I
get
mean, I
kind of
admire
like,
him.
you get addicted to that, like that
Mhm.
level of like, oh, I made a piece that quick. Why would I spend hours like refining all the details when I can make a really nice piece that quick?
Yeah, and it goes into like, for certain people, like he paints much slower, obviously, in a studio than he does in the classroom. But I don't think he paints as slow as he leads people to believe. Like, it's so different because he does like, I forgot how many pieces a year he did. Over 100 paintings a year at the time when we were in school. He was doing. I mean, that's
crazy.
I struggle to make 40.
I don't even get close. I don't even get close to that. Wow.
Yeah, right.
That is amazing. Yeah, I'm just like I'm like speechless at the moment. That is so
Dude,
many pieces.
It's one of those things where like,
I don't even do
I
that
mean,
many
what is a
drawings
piece?
in a year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's going all the time, and also he's. I mean, what does a finish mean to someone? Like, I don't think Craig would. I know Craig. He would maybe do a small study of a piece like I did, but he would do it much faster. Maybe limit himself to an hour or so
Mm-hmm.
at 9 by 12, and then he would attempt a larger painting, and he would, he wouldn't go like and nuance this thing and like design every single, like, I'm trying to design every stroke here just to see what it would look like, so then I can reconfigure things and like paint the best painting possible, whereas like Craig would get tired of that pretty quick. He's that type of like mindset,
Yeah.
which is not bad. It's just different. It's just, I know, you and I know other artists that are like that, and you're kind of like that too, right? I mean, like, you're like, when you're done with a piece. I mean, you're pretty fast, Tyler. So that's.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm pretty quick.
Oh, it wasn't a compliment.
Oh, okay. Good. No, I think I get bored with a piece really fast, and therefore I want it to be done quicker than it probably should be. Yeah, that's how I want to phrase that.
Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt,
Better not.
but I have new information, man.
Oh, okay.
New shit has come to light, and Alec Hamilton just said that your mother shares a birthday
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're about to say.
with Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. I don't think
Sir-
she knows.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, so he's a Knight of the Realm. Thank you.
Yeah, but why are we saying happy birthday, Patrick Stewart?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know him, and I kind of prioritize my mom over Patrick Stewart. Crazy enough, but it's a close tie, Mom. If you're out there watching,
No,
very close.
Listen,
I'll tell you.
you could have said it right after. I will say, listen,
I'm going to call her later, and I'm going to mention that it's also Patrick Stewart's birthday. And you know what? I don't even know if my mom knows who Patrick Stewart is. I think she does.
Of course she does.
I think she remembers TNG. I think
Yeah.
she liked TNG. So, I think this will go over well. I think she'll be happy about that.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great.
I gotta slow down.
It's gonna be great.
I'm rushing through this dragon here, and we got a long time.
Yeah, we just started like half an hour ago.
Okay, I'm gonna slow down.
Well, you could start another piece.
Yeah, well, I haven't prepped any boards for that.
Because we need video content, man. Okay, and you're the only one.
I know. We're relying on my screen, not on Ray's.
No. Oh god. I don't even want to touch like the back end of the stream because I'm just afraid that it's gonna be like, nope,
It's just gonna be
you got greedy.
yeah. It's just gonna be like a blur of colors.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it's interesting to see like how do you get to, like, everyone takes different amount of time to get to the results that they need to get to, right?
Yeah.
And what matters is that you get the results, but it's always interesting to see, like, of course I would always want to be faster, like I'd be able to produce more paintings in less time. Awesome, but I'm also now of the opinion too, like I like working as efficiently as possible. I work as much as I can, but I'm also like, I have these types of, I have an effect that I want to go for, and it's really interesting to see like how painters, different artists think, even though, like, even if they're like their results are painterly, they look like they were effortlessly done, it doesn't mean that it was effortless to do it or it was fast.
Yeah, right. Like
Sargent.
Yeah, or like Phil Hale, you're like, oh, it looks like it's really the spontaneous, energetic painting. But you know damn well that he's spending a lot of time like getting just the right brush stroke.
Yeah. I think so. That's and like.
But you're right. Same with Sargent.
The same with Sargent. No, you're right. Because like when you think about like what how he's planning that out and stuff like that, it's that's high level stuff. Even if like he's working on the finished piece and painting things out or like trying to design stuff, like, my God, like he doesn't work small. Right. Not that I know of. I mean, like all the Phil Hales that I've seen are gigantic, or large. They're really large paintings. But someone like Craig has a certain effect, but he's very quick, and I know other painters that are like that. They're very fast, and well, like yourself, like you're fast and you know how to get your effect quick. But then there are other painters like, John Rush. John's a really good example. Like he did for those who don't know him, he's an artist. He did the Wells Fargo logo, and he's done stuff for National Geographic and a trillion other clients and stuff. Probably around the 80s, 90s, late 70s, 80s, and 90s, early 2000s. That was kind of his heyday. And now he's just doing his own like fine artwork stuff. So John's stuff is like painterly, but it does not take him. It takes him a while to get that. Like he has to plan that out, you know. And I know artists like that are like, hey, I have to work every single thing because I'm trying to go for this effortless look that's not natural for me to do, you know. So but I know people like if Phil Hale does that on the surface, like he's like, oh, let me try this, let me try that, then that's kudos to him because I don't know if I, you know, have the confidence in myself to be experimental on a finished painting because I'm afraid that I'll just be there forever.
Yeah, I don't like to do that either.
You know, but there are people like, I mean, like Mark English, he was a classic example. Like he was fast. He didn't like spending more than like 3 or 4 days on a painting, and he didn't paint small, and his stuff was painterly, it was impressionistic, but he kind of knew what he was going for, you know, and he just worked, you know, and a lot of, like, you know, experimented on that surface, but it was like a very controlled chaos. And Manchus, you know, Greg Manchus, he's same thing. I mean, he doesn't paint small, you know, he has painted small things, but I mean, his stuff is large, you know, it's not, and he's painting things in a few days.
Yeah, you can tell he has that same level of like, I want to get this done now.
Yeah.
Because he's like his whole entire stroke design, his whole mark making process is about down and out. Put the stroke down, right. I'm done.
Yeah, no, it's no.
Yeah,
yes,
no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I agree. Like it's it's just like Branzola says like Carl Kopinski. Is Carl pretty quick?
He's fast. Yeah, he's fast. He's like very buttery and direct.
It's just like, it's really amazing to see that type of stuff, you know, because I can get there. Just it takes me, and I love that look. Like I really like, you know, pushing paint around and stuff. And Tyler and I have had like many conversations about this when we were in between episodes and things like that. But it just takes, you know, that's a lot of fun to do that. But, you know, it could turn into a damn mess for me. And I tighten up quite a bit and I get really noodly, you know, because I just can't think. It's hard for me to edit on such a large scale when I don't have a clear direction, you know.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's just the process, right? You know, it's like, you could, you know, when you look close at those Rockwell pieces, that, you know, he was not being bold. He was being really careful, methodical.
Yeah.
Like he was laying out every little stroke, like every little bit of chroma he was putting down was like planned out.
Oh yeah.
When you look really close, it's like he was painting it like dots, which is, I'd say, is not too dissimilar to the way you paint, man.
No, it's very tile based. Yeah.
You're tiling it out.
You know who's like that too, and I 100% think he was a lot more planned than people probably realize. Was Gene Cornwell.
I agree.
Everything. His drawings were incredible, but like those strokes were placed down with, like he knew it needed to be there, and either like he was able to visualize that or he just knew. And you know, my favorite person of all to like bring it up is like I would argue one of the greatest artists in Western art history, period.
Oh, okay.
And that's J.C. Leyendecker.
Yeah, the greatest. I am with you on that, and I will fight with you to defend that J.C. Leyendecker is one of the greatest Western artists in the history of illustration or art. And he planned the shit out of every piece.
Everything. Look
Like,
at his. Yeah.
He
Oh my God.
repainted hands. He did everything before he even did anything.
I mean, talk about thorough, right? Like full configurations.
Right. Or
4,
like
5, 6.
you look at some of his sketches and he's painted like 3 different grasps of a hand, just the hand, like from the middle of the forearm out. He's like, I'm going to try 3 different approaches to the hand grasping this. And this is all before he's even gotten close to doing the final.
Nope. And then he would just select his favorite hand and then just paint it in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, circumstances were set up for him, as an artist too. It's really romantic to think about that stuff, and it's awesome. But like, his world of illustration doesn't exist anymore. I mean, he had months, to do stuff like that, and even painters, today, like they're not. I would love to. Some of them can just do one painting a year or a few paintings a month. Really top end. They really spend good time, but like. Most of them are just always up against the clock, and so...
Yeah, there's always got to be some kind of clock, otherwise you wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, true. It's super true. And I used to, like, John Rush, like, he taught me how to, like, really plan things out with, like, color studies with physical pieces, and that's where I get my studies from, but, like, I like going a little bit more and embracing digital painting because I could be a lot more... I find myself like being worried that the study is not gonna like I want to have a finish to the study, and that a lot of times doesn't allow for experimentation. Like I'll arrive at a solution and I'm usually like good to go with the study. Like, okay, that's a solution to this picture. It doesn't solve all the problems, but it's a solution. And the digital end of it allows me to sort of ask the question like, what if I just blew this out or didn't paint this, or like, can I get away with just one shape, or move the color up and down, how about I expand this part, make this larger, this part of the painting larger, this one smaller, that sort of stuff. So
yeah, you can do a lot of like quick composing. This is a good like line of discussion because I always struggle with like, I love the flexibility of like doing all my preliminary work digitally in order to prep for a physical painting. But I always find like I'll get colors that I just cannot achieve traditionally, that I just can't mix up. And I'm like, that looks really good in the color sketch that I did digitally, but I can't do it. I can't make it happen. And I mean, maybe that's why there's a lot of weight to like trying to do it traditionally. Do your color sketches traditionally, because then you're seeing how you mix those colors and got those effects. Whereas, doing it digitally, you're like, yeah, this is crazy wild color, but I'll never be able to reproduce this color.
Right. Yeah, that could also be it. Like it's how do I explain that? Like you have to be okay with. You have to kind of work within a type of box, like to say like to yourself, like you have to kind of experience it, which is kind of why I paint comp traditionally and then paint on top of it, because I know, at least I knew at the time what the colors, what I needed to do for my colors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
So it kind of grounds me into like what's possible on a, in this in the spectrum, of value that I have. But yeah, no, I mean, I did it again. Yeah, I'm really careful about how, I lay things down too. And I don't try anything very digitally anyway. So everything's really kind of hand done too. Like if for a piece like this, if it were just a digital illustration, I mean, I don't care. Like, I'd blur things. I would, I would do everything,
yeah,
to try and make it to that.
Yeah. That's what I do. That's why I bring it up, because it's like I can do so many different things digitally, but when I try to build that into my process, it's really like I got to stick in grayscale, and then I got to do the color comp traditionally because I can't do I have a hard time doing the color comp digitally.
Right. Yeah, like, yeah, I know what you mean. I 100% understand what you mean. Do we have any questions here? Let's see here.
No, I haven't seen any.
No?
No curious
All right.
minds. No curious minds out there. Now we're gonna have a
You
lot of questions.
asking me questions, but I am, you know what I was thinking? This could be a result of maybe Photoshop is because I was using the cloud to save things and it's still syncing.
Oh yeah, you should like shut that off for sure.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
What do you sync in Photoshops?
Yeah, my files. Because I was working on my iPad, so
Oh my gosh, I don't know how you stop it. I always do Dropbox, so I can just pause Dropbox.
right. Well, thanks for the help on that one,
It's web
Tyler.
crunch,
Really.
dude. It's web crunch.
So your
My advice is, I don't know.
your advice is
You know what? I
turn
don't know.
turn off Dropbox.
Wait,
No, that
I
was your
mean,
advice.
Um,
I don't know.
what are files being synced on your iPad?
No, my iPad's off, so it wouldn't be doing that. I think on my PC.
And it's using Photoshop sync thing.
Yeah, it's syncing my. Oh no, it says waiting to sync, so I think we're good. No,
Oh.
let's see, syncing. Yeah, I got some large files syncing, so I think that might be doing it. How do I pause it though?
Damn, I don't know. I've never used that function.
What? It's pretty cool.
I just use Dropbox, so it syncs everything up as I go.
Tyler, I'm not using stupid Dropbox.
I know as you've said, you will never use it.
I've got Stop Photoshop.
The thing is, I'm committed now. I can't use someone else's backup, cloud functionality because I'm just committed. I'm committed.
Well, there are people that hate Google Drive too.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Pause or resume file sync. There he is. Oh my god! If I get this,
Watch it like instantly, highest resolution possible.
Okay.
Bear with us, folks.
Cloud activity. Bam. Yep. Pause. Boom. Can you imagine if this fixes it? I don't think it's going to fix it, but
Well, it's got to be eating up your bandwidth. You got to get something out of that.
I got 1 kilobit. Nope. It's actually lower now.
No, it's the whole thing's crashed.
No, the whole thing's crashed.
Thanks a lot, Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I don't know who's in charge of this.
Steve's dead, man. And I'm on my PC, so.
Man, you know what I'm noticing here that I'm no good at painting back into pieces. Really bad at it.
After they're dry?
Yeah, I get all these weird transparency things that I hate the effect of. Oh well, just going with it.
Yeah.
Just go with it. We're doing it live.
I
Hey, Chrisicon.
Hey, Chrisicon. Yeah, I've really thought a lot about that. And so I've come to the conclusion that out of all the tutorials I've seen, and I've seen a bunch of them and talked to other people about it, you basically just have to repaint that area
Yeah.
Like throw some color down and then just repaint it. That's if
Yeah.
to get the effect that you want.
I'm noticing. I need to like oil out just the area that is the transition between where the old paint was and the new paint. Instead of the whole area,
Yeah.
just the strip of area, and then paint so that that little trim of, like, let's say I painted the shoulder last time, just oil that area out so that just the transition there is right, and then everything else can be new alla prima.
Yeah, that's how people like Jeremy Lipking work. They work just piece by piece and just finish
Yeah.
off an area as is, and then it's all like wet and wet, but it's not. It's done in stages.
Done in
many
stages, right?
passes. But,
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, I'm constantly fighting like the little bits of of transparency. Where you'll put something down and it's like really muddy looking now because it's
Yeah.
not 100% opaque.
Right.
These are the struggles,
I-
everybody.
Yeah, with the type of strokes you're laying down, that's going to happen.
It's all right. It's okay.
But whatever.
Just
Which is
dragging
why
it.
this is why like if you don't, for those of you folks who don't like that, and you could also always try. See, it works for Tyler because it's about like kind of putting color back in and then just basically repainting that area, putting like fresh color on top. So like the way I've seen it explained is just that people like just put like you could say put that red down, like a base red, and just repaint the area. Because you didn't get, the idea is like you were saying, like you didn't get it that time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you got to kind of attempt it again.
yeah. And then, other options are, I really like painting wet and wet. So, but other options, you can paint like Chris Ron does, and Chris is very layered based. And then
He is?
he's super layered base. Like he has a whole layered process, and that's awesome. Like it totally works for him. I get frustrated with that mainly because I don't know how to work with this transparency and painting back in things. But he has a whole method, so don't be stubborn like me. Try different methods.
Don't be a Tyler.
Don't be me. Try different
The
things.
Vegemite of. Don't be Vegemite in a tube.
Don't eat
in a
Vegemite.
toothpaste tube. Don't eat Vegemite.
Don't advocate for Vegemite.
Kill
Oh
him with
no,
kindness.
man.
That's
Oh
for
no.
sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fill the airways with just talk because I'm almost done with this thing.
Oh no,
I know. What are we gonna do?
dude. I have no idea.
Oh hey, Raphael. Different. I don't paint. That Raphael's asking how my process differs from Chris's. I probably in every way. I used to try to paint like Chris, but because I talk with him a lot about his process and the way he layers and he has a whole block in period and then he has a refine the details, and I've tried to paint that way, but because I don't know what I'm doing in that respect, I constantly run into the issue of dry times. And then the issue of figuring out how to paint back into old painting well. So yeah, I tend to paint as alla prima as I can. So it's like the complete opposite of how Chris works.
Raphael, I mean, like Tyler's a 6 shake per dash type of
Yeah, that's how
person. I mean, like
much. If you're talking about bitters, that's what I'm doing.
he's not exactly operating normal operating procedures here.
And speaking
it
of
all
that,
depends
like
on that.
my operating procedure is trying to remember, and it has been for the past few years, trying to remember how to oil paint because I've been working digitally for so long.
Dude, I forget how to paint if I don't paint for like a few days.
Yeah.
Like I haven't painted I haven't painted like traditional since last Friday, and I know I'm gonna have to relearn everything
Dude, this
that I
happens.
spent years honing.
This happens to me too on every process of painting. Every time I got to make a painting, I'm like, I forgot how I do it.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go.
no idea.
How did I do it? I guess we'll start at the beginning again. Like, how do I even start a sketch? I don't know. And now that I've done the sketch, how do I paint it? I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah,
At least that's how it
yeah.
feels.
It's so
Anyways.
true. No, it feels like that to me. I'm just like, what is this? I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is,
I mean, the
yeah.
whole thing.
I think this is normal, though. This is, I mean, unless we're Ian McCaig, who always remembers that.
You said he was old. How old is he? Is he in his 60s? He's got to be in his 60s, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Has to be. He did the original Games Workshop logo in 1975. So
No
he's
kidding.
gotta be. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He did. He said he says they've never fixed the K in it. If you look it up, you'll see the K is like really scrunched to fit in there. They still use that logo.
Wow.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that kind of ages him, right? It means he's got to
Yeah,
be.
he did the Jethro Tull album.
Yeah, he's got to be.
That was the 70s, so.
Yeah, he was working as a professional in the 70s. So he's got to be at least 20, 30 years older than us. And I'm 100.
Yeah, Like Conrad said, back to the Vegemite combo. Oh no.
Oh boy. And then Lord Adornable has to bring up the most divisive subject in the history of communication.
Pineapple on pizza?
Pineapple on pizza.
Listen.
You're from Queens where they invented pizza, so what do you think?
Listen. Pizza is a general term. It's like music, okay?
Okay.
It means different things to different people. And I will say that I have no problem with pineapple pizza. As a matter of fact, I think it's delicious.
Me too. We're of the same mind.
But
it's good.
But if you are in Queens with me in a pizzeria and you ask for pineapple on pizza, I don't know you.
I would
never met.
Ray, do you think I would be foolish enough to go with you to Queens?
Yes.
And order pineapple on pizza in Queens?
Yes.
No,
you guys got pineapple on pizza?
I'd never do that.
Give me a slice of pineapple, all right? We had it. Thanks.
Do you think I walked around with Francisco for a couple days in Queens, just him and me? He trained me how to exist there. Okay. And then I wouldn't order. I went to a local barber with him. We walked around the streets. He yelled at a few cars. There's no chance I'm going to break any of his rules.
All right. So
he did yell. It was very much an I'm walking here scenario with your brother.
He's such a ham. Yeah, he was dialing it up a little bit for the tourist.
I know. I guarantee he was. Definitely was.
But yeah, it is very much. Have you ever seen? I don't know why this came across my YouTube feed, because I actually was. I'm gonna go off on a New York City segue here, so just bear with me. At least I'm talking about
Raised from New York City, everybody.
So, I'm not from I'm from Queens. I mean, like the city we call is Manhattan. I'm not from Manhattan, right?
He's not from Manhattan. Don't confuse it. He's from Queens. He's not from New York City.
Translating my accent, like what he meant to say. So there's this guy. Oh, geez, I forgot his name. Is like One Bite Pizza Reviews, and he's on this thing called Barstool Sports, I think. It might
This
be.
sounds great.
But it is. I mean, this is a thing, right? And I bet you everyone in the in the 5 boroughs knows about them, especially
Probably a tri-state
you know,
area.
yeah, or just like people our age and younger. So, or definitely our age, and so he was outside of this pizza place, and so this this woman was yelling at him about the pizza place because he was right in front of the pizza place. He was talking about it.
I saw this. No, you just keep going. But I remember.
He's
I remember
right?
this now. I remember this.
Complaining, talking about how like you can't read the sign of the pizza place, and telling him that he needs to make it larger, and he's like, "Ma'am, I don't work here." And then like, this couple comes like he's like, and he's just interrupting him. He's trying to make there's supposed to be fast reviews, and he's just like interrupting. It's like this. She's interrupting him all the time. Like, I can't see it. I can't. We don't know what it is. Like, people, it needs to be larger. And he's like, okay. And he was saying something like, he's like, all right, I got to do this review. He was like, well, can you give me a credit? I gave you the idea for it, or something like that. He's like, what's happening here? What's happening? What's going on? And then like he's like, so what do we give this? We're about to give this a review, and then like all of a sudden a couple comes out, and they're like, this place is horrible. Is it bad? Horrible. The food is lousy. It sucks. And he's like, what happened? It's like, we never got served. But he didn't come around, so we left. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And he's holding like, a pie of pizza. And then like he's trying to take a bite. And like all of a sudden he's like, all right, so we're about to, have this pizza. And then and this older man comes in the camera. And he's like, you should be thankful for me. He's like, I'm a veteran of the war. And he's like, okay, which one? And he's like, World War II. He's like, World War II. Goes, that's right, buddy. And then he's like, okay. And he's like, this is the greatest review ever. And still no pizza. And I don't even know what he gave the pizza review, but it was incredible.
I hope he didn't at the end of all that. Like, why even talk about it?
But that is like, that's so stereotypical New York, and in a way that, I don't know, if you're from that area, you kind of loved it. That all I did after I saw that, I was like, all I wanted was pizza from New York City.
Yeah, was it
from
was
the
it pie?
Boroughs. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. I was like, gosh, I miss home.
That's all I want when I get there. It's like when I go to LA, I want an out burger. When I go to New York City, I want a pizza. I want something from the 5 boroughs. Like you said, I want a big old slice of pizza.
I want LA. You know what I want when I go to LA? A donut.
What? A donut?
LA donuts are the best.
They're good.
Some of the best donuts.
Donuts, man. That's
incredible,
East
man.
Coast thing.
Go to a Chinese food place and a donut.
All right.
Incredible.
I'm with you there. I like
they know how to do it. They know how to do it. And Mexican food.
Yeah, well, they know how to do
people in San Jose will probably think, I mean, oh my God. That place we went to?
Yeah. In downtown, there's this place in downtown LA that's been there since like 1900, Mexican food place, and they got like signature dishes on the menu that they date when they introduced that dish to the menu. It was like the 1923 enchiladas, and it's amazing. Man, I wish I knew the name of that place.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're back. You're back. Full res. Holy smokes.
That's right. That's all I had to do was talk about food. Maybe my stream was hungry.
Race back, everybody. Yeah, your stream was starving for Mexican food. Man, okay, so here's the thing. We're talking about pizza. And we're talking about local dialects here now, basically. What?
Well, okay, so Lord
pizza pie. You guys call it a pizza pie? What do you guys call it in
No, we don't call it pizza pie. Don't you're embarrassing yourself. Okay.
Somebody does. You said pie a minute ago. He says the guy's got a slice of pie.
No, not a slice of pie. He said he had a pie.
Yeah, okay, he had a pie.
All right, let me just update you on the
break this down.
I'm gonna update you first on the chat.
Okay.
What's going on? Alex said that Canadians are rejoicing. Chris again said I often get pineapple and jalapeno pizza. Lord Darbo says, I appreciate people calling it Hawaiian pizza because it allows Canadians to avoid taking the blame for starting this controversy. Yeah, did they start?
This brings up a whole thing.
Kinda.
I'm with Lord Adornable on this because Hawaiian pizza isn't in itself an enigma because it has Canadian bacon on it, which is just ham.
Right.
It's not actually
Which
bacon,
is the same.
but
Right.
they call it bacon in Canada.
Yeah.
It's just it's a pizza in a strange land without a home. It's from nowhere. We can't call it Hawaiian. They don't make it there.
They don't. Oh. See, I thought like maybe some Canadians went over to Hawaii and just started like pizzeria or something like that.
This reminds me, there's a pizzeria up here in Olympia, well, in south of Seattle, that's from guys from the Five Boroughs.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's called
Old
God.
School.
Wait, Old School.
But
Oh
the
my God, a
Vic's,
child of
I'd
the
say
80s,
Vic's is
90s.
better. Vic's is better, but Old School is really, really, really good.
It was excellent. It was excellent. It was like this far away. I'm getting pizza this good. You know, a person from New York City would actually go out of their way to go to that place just to talk shit about it.
Of course.
But I'm going to tell you that it's like that's solid. But hey, listen, in Western New York, they have got their own pizza and it's delicious. I love pizza because it's so different everywhere. So
I used to. I've learned
all
the
about
error of my ways, but I used to be like, Chicago pizza is not pizza. Meh."
God, it's so good. Oh,
It's
my
so
goodness.
good though, and Detroit pizza,
so
like
good.
Detroit style pizza, is amazing. It's incredible.
Don Kilpatrick. I don't know if you know Don. He's an incredible artist. You should check out his stuff. Don Kilpatrick the third on Instagram. He's everywhere, but he's the head of. Oh my goodness, he's the head of the illustration department, or maybe the art department, maybe illustration. I think. At the Center for Creative Studies in Detroit, and he was telling me like I have to come and check out Detroit pizza.
Dude,
and I had no idea.
It's so good. It's crazy.
I'm sure it's incredible.
It's kind of like, I don't know, the way I would describe it is, it's not Chicago pizza, because Chicago pizza is basically like a meat pie without a lid on it.
Yeah, it's barely. I mean, like the crust is made out of Parmesan cheese. For goodness sake, I mean, like there's barely any bread on it.
Yeah,
There's
it's
barely
just
any
like
bread.
you're having sauce and meat, man. That's what you're about to have.
Yeah.
you're not having no bread. That's not. But
how good? So for those of you,
like what I'm saying, like hold on,
Okay,
hold on
do your
before you
thing, yeah,
transition. But like Detroit style is like, it's like, hey, you know how Chicago doesn't have as much bread? We're all bread, but then they make it in like square pans, and it's like baked to the point that the edges of the cheese on the edge of on the bread is just like glass. It's so fucking crispy. It's amazing. It's an experience, man. It's an experience. Okay, go ahead. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just will also say, and I will, two things. One, describing pizza from another place, always for me, and I'm sure it's for people, maybe it's just in my genes, but makes it sound so unappetizing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
that sounds awful, but I know what you're trying to say, and I think I'm gonna do it. I gotta go to Detroit. I gotta visit the art museum there and all that stuff. So
Yeah, for
and
sure,
I gotta go
man.
visit those people. So I gotta do it. Francis Vallejo's over in Detroit too.
No kidding.
A lot of great artists are in. Yeah. That's where he's from. So
A lot of great filmmakers
second-
from Detroit too, so got that going for us.
Mark English is from. He's got to start in Detroit.
Mark's from Detroit? Oh shit.
I don't know if he's from Detroit, but he got to start. That used to be an illustration hub because all of the old
All the
car
stuff.
illustrations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like Bernie Fuchs got to start there.
No shit.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? So, oh shit! What was the second thing I was gonna say? What were we talking?
I don't know,
about?
but we got pizza figured out.
Oh yeah, I know. We got pizza. Chicago. Where'd you go in Chicago? That's what I wanted to ask you.
For pizza?
Yeah.
God, I don't know. It was a long time ago.
So, it's my understanding, and I was taken by a good friend of mine who lives there.
In the Chicago town area.
In the Chicago, yes, in the city, right? He took me to this place called Pequod's.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Like the Moby Dick ship, the Pequod.
Is that really?
Well, I mean, that's the name of the ship, the Pequod.
Wow. So basically, this inspired the novel Moby Dick. Right? This is the
Yeah,
restaurant.
Probably. Herman Melville, he went out to Chicago and he's like, holy fucking shit. Pardon my French. I'm going to... This is where we just busted our rating right there. He's like, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book about this.
I want to say, Conrad said, quote, "We're all bred," unquote. Tyler, 2022. It's funny.
Yeah, Detroit pizza. We're all bred.
Yeah, we're all bred.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Good.
Pequod's is incredible. Man, I had that pizza and it was like, I was like, man, that is incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
It just made me so happy that people had innovated. You know?
Well, they probably, but I feel like Chicago innovated pizzas in like the 1920s or something. They're like, we can't make booze. We got to innovate some pizza.
Probably. I mean, like every place though innovates it, like or changes it, and because I think,
yeah, you know what didn't? California.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, it's more they appropriated stuff. California Pizza Kitchen.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of California Pizza Kitchen, which is why I bring it up.
I know. It's like the Applebee's.
Yeah, it's like fucking. You know what? Our language rating's just out the door.
It's Domino's. Domino's meets Applebee's, basically.
Or it's like Domino's meets Cheesecake Factory. It's like we got 10 million. We have 10 million pizzas to choose from.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, what?
Yeah, I know.
How about you make one or two good ones?
It fits a need. I get it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, it's like, what do you want me to do with something like that?
Yeah, well, it's like your love of Buffalo Wild Wings. Like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
with the B3. With the B3.
Oh God, I know people around where I live that have admitted to be like, I love that place. I don't know why people don't like it, and I'm thinking like,
what?
Quiet your voice. Lower your volume. Are you insane?
First of all, who had the balls to open a Buffalo Wild Wings in Buffalo, New York? They're either a mad genius or an absolute crazy person.
They're here. There are a couple of them here. I don't know.
It's like trying to open a Starbucks in Italy.
You've seen? I've seen them. I've been. I've seen them.
Oh, I've never seen one. I didn't know that there were. I've never seen one.
I'm almost certain that I saw a Starbucks in Venice. I'm almost certain. Whew. I could be making that up, big time.
Can you imagine though? Like, who would think that was a good idea?
Yeah. There you go. Cranston just had a great quote for Pequod's. The pizza you have to cut with a harpoon. It is true. It's incredible.
You want to eat this pizza? You got to kill it. You got to catch it.
Starbucks, Venice, Italy.
Someone look it up?
Venice, no, I'm doing it right now.
Oh, you're using the internet right now? I think someone wanted to see what kind of pre-mixed one.
Yeah, Milan. That's where I saw it.
I don't know if you're going to find Raphael. I don't know if you find this in Brazil, but this is I'm trying this one out. See it? This is going to get it kicked off Twitch. Alcohol. Want to get it kicked off Twitch? Oh God. I'll just say what it is. On the Rocks premium cocktails. It's okay. It's from Knob Creek, which is a Kentucky bourbon maker.
I've seen people. No, well, you know what? Let's not. We're just a small outfit here.
I had it up there for 2 seconds. Okay.
If you are the death of with your crazy bitters, if bitters are the reason why Livebrush,
Dude, you know what? This is sort of like a I don't like scotch, and this is a you don't like scotch because you haven't had a good scotch situation. You don't like bitters because you haven't had a good old fashioned made for you. I think that's what's going on here.
I listen. The person that made me a handmade old fashioned, I trust very much.
Who
is a good friend of mine's.
Okay, all right.
And it was one of the worst drinks I ever had.
Okay.
Because of the bitters. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, bitters. I didn't put that much.
I only did 16 dashes.
So he must be a 6-dash man.
Okay, I get it. I respect it. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you better change your opinion.
Listen, next time we hang up, okay, I'm not gonna change my opinion. Probably not. But that being said, it's in my best interest to find an old fashioned that I like. So right? Because there's just more stuff for me to enjoy. So what I'm telling you is next time we hang out, you go ahead and make me an old fashioned.
Okay, I'm glad that you're willing to do that. But here's the thing: why I want to step myself back a little bit is that I hate gin, and I've tried it a million times in many different formats, and I still hate it. So I get it. I get it. If you don't like bitters, I'm probably not going to change your mind.
Jeez, you don't like gin, huh?
Oh, I hate gin. There, when I went to Spain for the first time in Valencia. In Valencia, and they had whole gin bars, and I was like, what a waste of a whole bar. The whole bar is dedicated to gin. What the hell? I can't say. It's the juniper. It's the like floral, almost like medicinal pine tree flavor. I can't stand it.
Yeah, that kind of hits you at the end.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've had some gins that are not made with juniper. There's like one or two that are not made. And I was like, oh, okay, I actually really like this. But that's sort of like, hey, we made the drink. It's like, hey, we made whiskey without the vanilla bomb of an oak barrel. Do you like this?
Right.
It's like, yeah, well, it's not really whiskey anymore at that point.
Right. Well, yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind gin. I would think that like... Actually, I don't mind gin at all. I don't have it straight. I have it with tonic, but
yeah, it's still I've had it like that before, but it's still that like really intense juniper. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, you know what I don't like, and it breaks my heart because I wanted to like it. Is that licorice whiskey that the Icelanders?
Oh yes. Brennivin, yeah. Oh my god. Brennivin that'll kill you.
Shout out to Linda.
Yes, absolutely. If Linda, if you're chatting,
Olaf's daughter.
Yeah.
Incredible illustrator. Pretty much the children's book illustrator in Iceland.
She really is top notch. She's just
seriously.
She has like owned it. She's so good.
It's like, oh, here's me and the prime minister or something. I'm like, what? It's a Tuesday, Linda.
Yeah. Well, it's Iceland. They're just living it up. Yeah. She brought us. I don't know if you remember the names of them, but she brought us 2 Icelandic liqueurs.
Yeah, from Iceland, right?
Yeah, from Iceland. One is called Brennivin, which is It comes in like a black green death bottle with like a black label.
Right, I remember that.
And it's in a really intense liqueur. And then the other one is called Opal, which comes in this really nice, like pinkish, like almost like 80s. You know, when they had like all the like circular designs that kind of vibrated off each other, like tons of radiating circular lines.
Yeah,
that's Opal. Yeah. And Opal is like really heavy licorice liqueur, And I think Brennivine is also licorice liqueur, but Brennivine is so intense. It's like made to drink in the cold kind of thing. But yeah, we tried them both, and whew, it'll blow your brains out.
Listen, man, it's like that's why they eat fermented shark as a delicacy, because they wouldn't be able to taste it with all the Brennivine,
Yeah.
all that licorice. It was strong, and I felt bad. I apologize. I'm like, listen, you're wasting this on me. I don't like licorice, period. But
So you're not you don't
how
like the Jägermeister, huh?
no. But I was like, man, when am I gonna get a chance to like actually drink straight up, Icelandic licorice liquor, right? I mean, like that. I mean, that's straight from Iceland,
Yeah. And they make, their liquor aside, they make really great beer. They have a beer called Viking, and it's phenomenal. It's like super good stuff. But those liqueurs they'll kill you. And you know what it is though? It's the Scandinavian tradition of loving licorice. That anywhere in Scandinavia they have crazy licorice candies. In Denmark, my friend Jesper has tried to give me these candies a few times. He said he shows me the candy. It's like licorice candy. I'm like, oh no, thanks. It's like licorice. I don't like that super salty licorice that they have over there. And he was like, this. He's like, this one says not for children on the packaging. So they just take it to the limit. Whatever the limit is for licorice, they take it to the limit.
It's like the organization of pediatricians in Scandinavia, like the Scandinavian Pediatricians Association, like banned it. Like, listen, you cannot give this to children. They had so much licorice. There's like a warning label on it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what it said. He was like, yeah, this is for adults only because it's like it's so heavy with like the licorice flavor that it can. Like, I don't know what he said it can do to kids. I don't know, but apparently it can do something to kids.
I didn't even know licorice was dangerous.
Apparently, like in high concentrations. I brought last
It's even time. More of a reason to be like, no, thank you.
When I first met his kids, I brought them hot tamales, the cinnamon candy.
Okay,
and they had never experienced anything like that in their lives. And these kids are like, they're just like eating them like fistfuls of hot tamales. And then they're running over to their dad, Jesper, and they're like, Dad, every time I have one, I'll have 5 or 6, and then my eyes water. And they're like, both of their eyes are watering, and they're just downing these hot tamales. It's funny to introduce new candies to kids, and then they're trying to give me, because they know they're looking at me, and they're trying to give me this licorice candy, and then they're watching me eat it because they know what's about to happen.
That's incredible. I mean, it really is. Like, no, I did it again. No thanks. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I don't like the salty licorice that they have in Scandinavia, or just the regular licorice. Like Iceland has the salty stuff where it's like actually a little bit of licorice dipped in salt.
So, wait. So there's you said it was Scandinavia. So where is he's not in Hungary, right? He's in Denmark.
He's in Denmark. Yeah, I know. From what I understand, Lord Adornable. Yeah, licorice was, I think, from South Asia, but it's like potatoes and corn. Those things came from the Americas. That there were no potatoes in Europe or anywhere else in the world before Columbus. So it's just they just made it. They just made it there and became a huge thing for them.
It's like soft
licorice. That is. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Soft serve ice cream. What are you talking about?
Soft serve ice cream was invented in Buffalo.
Dude, are you? Okay, everybody, everyone in the chat. You know Chekhov from Star Trek, Anyone in the
Yeah.
chat? You know how like everything was invented in Russia, according to Chekhov from Star Trek. So according to Ray Bonilla, and and your family also supports this. It's pretty much bagels, pizza, soft serve ice cream.
No, they don't know anything about soft serve ice cream. Okay.
These were all invented in Queens, New York.
No, in Buffalo. It was soft serve ice cream was invented in Buffalo.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
So there's I went obviously in a rabbit hole. Well, I was gonna say like ice cream itself was some people say it was invented in Asia.
Yeah.
And
I don't know anything
but like
about
it's
the history of ice cream.
dude, it's crazy. Apparently like Alexander the Great would have people go ahead about licorice. I'm gonna go off on this thing and I'm already catching myself, so
Wait, what? Who's
no,
going
you
on?
I mean, finish your thought because I was going off on a
Dude, I don't have anything. I've finished my thoughts on
okay.
licorice.
Okay, so you finished your thought.
My
Apparently,
thoughts on licorice
Alexander
are
the Great
over with.
Would send runners into the mountain to get like snow, like ice, and run it back to him. Okay, and then they would put like syrups on it.
What?
So like the icy and stuff. Yeah, isn't that
Dude,
nuts?
this is probably why he didn't make it that far. I mean, he made it far, but this is probably the end. Like he
gained all that weight.
He was almost at India, and he was like, "Dude, you realize how far we got to run to get your snow cones?"
Get your ice cream.
Alexander ain't that great.
And then there was this Italian who brought back. I'm botching everything up now, but like I think he brought it back from
It's Ray Bonilla's
from
drunk
Asia.
history.
No, he brought it back from. I gotta look it up, but like he brought it back from Asia, and then it was this like Italian thing, and then in England they took that Italian recipe and then added it with like they were saying like a lot of them with like cream that was frozen.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a delicacy there, and it basically just kept evolving. And then it came to the Americas, and it was its own thing. And then Italians made gelato and whatnot, and like. But what I was going to say about soft serve ice cream is that technically, this inventor by the name of Charles Taylor, who's from Buffalo, is credited with having the first patent for a soft serve ice cream machine. Like it was basically this. It was the size of literally like an ice cream parlor, and it would like you'd put the ingredients in, and the machine would shoot out soft serve ice cream.
Dude, so it was like the 60s. It was like one day a soft serve ice cream machine will fit into a single room.
Century.
Turn of the century. I was thinking like
20s.
I was thinking like computers in the 60s where they're like one day one of these will fit into a single room. It's like the ice cream machine took up a whole entire restaurant.
Yeah, it was like ENIAC. Yeah, it was like ENIAC. You know ENIAC, the first computer?
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah,
it was enormous.
Yeah, it was huge.
They were like, God, I hope one day we can squeeze this into a single room. It's like now we have a billion times the computing power in our pockets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how many computers are around me is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, how many?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. It's a fad, dude. It's never going to take off. No one's going to want a personal computer at home. Why would they use that? Why would they ever use that at home?
Oh man. Well, just like that, just like computers, soft serve ice cream was probably a fad, but Charles Taylor proved him wrong. And long story short, they still make the Taylor ice cream machines, and they're the ones in a lot of McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool.
You know, and Taylor is in Illinois now, but you know, I want to say like if you're eating from a Taylor machine, you're eating from Buffalo.
Yeah, dude. Invented in Buffalo. You know, here's the thing. Was this idea that like food was invented somewhere
is correct if it's invented in Buffalo. I agree.
Is only right if it was in Buffalo. But everywhere else, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like that's like saying like language was invented somewhere. You know, it's like one guy invented French at some point in history. That's not how it works. Except for in Buffalo's case.
Frankie French.
That's just in Buffalo's case. But only in the case of Buffalo. Frankie the Gaul.
Frenchie.
Yeah, but in the Roman times, Frankie the Gaul came around and he was like, I'm going to talk this way.
How about this?
This is how we're talking now, fellas.
Yeah, we're talking now. He's basically akin to like a TikTok influencer, basically.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we got people fact checking your stuff.
Oh really? Oh
yeah.
Please tell me.
No,
so in ice cream. Okay, here we go.
What's up? What we got?
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh no. Rex Verde is saying they stand corrected.
I sit corrected on this. Oh, see,
there we go.
Rex Verde said I sit corrected.
Sitting corrected, which is even better than stood corrected.
Yep.
Oh, grew up in New Jersey. I know a lot of stuff was invented there. The Clerks was invented there.
Clerks.
The boss was invented there.
Bon Jovi. I mean, they had a heyday.
There was a lot,
But Bon Jovi, no, he's from Long Island, right? No,
Billy Joel's from Long Island.
Oh, Billy Joel's from Long Island.
Yeah. No, I love New Jersey, because I'm a big Clerks.
No one
Clerks
believes
fan.
you. No one believes you. I love New Jersey.
Remember Comic Book Men? Remember the show Comic Book Men?
Dude, I watched like every episode.
Me too, and it was
Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, man.
But they weren't even in it. It was all Walt Flanagan. It was all Walt Flanagan.
Yeah, no, that's the name of the store.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
Secret Stash. Yeah, for sure. Remember when? Okay, so everybody, this is like street cred for Ray and I, but we were watching that show, and someone brought in, because like it's sort of like I don't know if you've ever seen the show, but it's a comic book shop, right? It's the one that's owned by Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, but it's got like a little bit of
like Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars, yeah. It's got a little Pawn Stars energy to it. And people bring in stuff like rare comic items or just rare pop culture stuff. And Ray and I are watching this separately, but we're like commenting to each other about this one episode where someone brings in this Superman print. And they're like, "Hey, yeah, the Superman print, and it was painted by, I don't know if it's
he had said George Stavrinos.
Yeah, that's it. And I remember messaging Ray. I'm like, dude, did you see the one with the Superman print? And he's like, George something or other. And it's like, obviously, we know who painted this painting. There's no question who painted this painting.
Yeah.
And so Ray and I are going off on this guy. Like, what? Come on, like Walt Flanagan's supposed to know everything about comic history and art, and he thinks that this painting was done by some no-name when we know that it was done by the legend himself, Drew Struzan.
Yeah.
Ripping off, and Struzan was super ripping off J.C. Leyendecker in that painting.
Yeah. It was J.C. Leyendecker's
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
What was it, 1906 Thanksgiving, where he did like the Pilgrim and the football player?
It was so good.
One of my favorite Leyendecker paintings, but that Superman piece is the head off of the football player, and then Struzan just did a whole Superman body that was just his own creation, but he used the head right off of that. It's sort of like the I don't know if it's sort of like it, but it's kind of like the key art for Contra, the video game from the 80s. Where it's just stills from Predator.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Everybody in the chat, I wish I was connected enough to my keyboard because I'm pretty much done with this thing and we got about 20 minutes left. But if you look up the key art for Contra, the original Contra, and then look up still frames or any promotional art from Predator.
Just search Contra NES Predator box art.
Yeah.
And you'll see what
we're talking about. Yeah.
If you want to have some fun, do Metal Gear. That's another one.
Is it in the Contra situation? Is it 2 shots of Arnold, or is it 1 shot of Arnold and 1 shot of Billy, and then they just painted the faces differently?
No, I think it was just 2 shots of Arnold.
Right, in different poses. He's like in different poses. Yeah. But it's just straight up out of the promotional stuff from Contra.
And Metal Gear is actually Metal Gear was also kind of like a quasi. It was somebody who was trying to like line decker, like do like a Streusen style rip off of a line decker.
Are you
so they're ripping off Streusen.
Excuse me. Are you kidding?
But it's but it's cool. Like the original Metal Gear art, it's it's fun to look at, but it's straight up a screen grab from the original Terminator.
That's Kyle Reese. Okay. It's Kyle Reese. Okay, I got to check that out. I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's the days where you could just do anything you wanted.
Yeah, Frios. Yeah, two Arnolds confirmed.
2 Arnolds confirmed. Okay.
It's that one point in the movie where he still has his weird vest on and he hasn't shed that yet. Because he's slowly like they say in Galaxy Quest, like it looks like you managed to get your shirt off again. Like he slowly loses clothing throughout that movie.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's the same kind of. There's something about John McTiernan's like attention to detail, but his like, it's just like in Die Hard, where John McClane's white tank top slowly gets dirty, right? Like very slowly, and then all of a sudden, it's like completely brown. But it's the same sort of, on a film set, there's a continuity expert, someone that keeps track of like how much dirt or how like what the cuts were like on someone's face or how their hair was like matted or whatever. They take photos constantly so that they can keep track of that continuity throughout the movie. And the continuity expert in both Predator and Die Hard, working for John McTiernan, was amazing. The transition, the slow gradient of Arnold losing his clothing throughout Predator is amazing, as well as the dirt gradient.
The dirt gradient in Die Hard's incredible.
Yeah, and it all builds up perfectly and is perfectly explained. This must have been so hard to keep track of, but it's so wonderfully explained. Of like he gets dirtier and dirtier, right, throughout the movie as he's killing the evil German terrorists. But then it gets
through vents and stuff.
Well, that's it, right? It's right there. Yeah. He goes through the vent, and when he comes out of the vent, it's like completely brown. They tracked everything, and it makes perfect sense. I don't know how you do it as a continuity expert to like. No, like at this point in the movie, everything we shoot after this, he has to have this particular look. Man, right, it's got to be hard.
You don't shoot the movie chronological.
Most of the time you don't, and so you have to remember. Right. Yeah, most of the time you don't. Sometimes they will shoot chronologically, but it's so rare. Like Lord of the Rings is a good example. Like the last shots in the movie, like when Sam and some of the first, The shot where like Sam and Frodo are going up the big endless stairway outside of
that's right.
Where like Gollum throws the whey bread down.
The squash court.
Yeah, and
Frodo. Did they get rained out or something?
I think it was.
And they had to like basically like last minute like say like, okay, let's build this set, and like didn't Sean Astin and like Elijah Wood just kind of meet?
Right. So man, there's so much crazy shit behind that. But it's the scene we're talking about here is when they're going up the stairwell outside of the Minas Morgul, which is like the big dark city that's not the Dark Lord city, but anyways, they're climbing up the stairwell and Gollum throws the whey bread down, and then Frodo tells Sam to leave, and Sam's all like crying and everything. That was some of the first scenes they ever shot for the entire set of films. And yeah, Ray was like they had to build this set like last minute because they were rained out or something like that. But the whole point here is that they don't shoot things chronologically, and that's like near the end of the movies, near the end of all three of the movies. Right. Those are the first things that they shot, and that was like the first time. Yeah, the Secret Stair. You're right. Arc vein. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Secret Stair. So that was like one of the first things they'd shot, and they'd shot for 14 months, which is incredibly long for filmmaking. But that's how some movies are not shot in order, and you have to keep track of all these little things and plan for all these little moments. Especially like John McClane's shirt getting dirty. You got to plan for all that. And I don't know 100% as to whether Die Hard was shot chronologically or not. But man, just the attention to detail was
shot backwards.
Was incredible. Yeah, shot backwards. What is it, Christopher Nolan?
They kept cleaning his shirt a little bit more and more.
Yeah. A little bit of bleach here, a little bit of bleach there.
We should. We'll get back to the movie things. I know we keep saying it, but we will. We should do a Die Hard one.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of because I was trying to find
hell even a Lord of the Rings one too. I wouldn't mind that too, but like a Die Hard.
Only
one
the Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings.
Well, yeah, I don't know if any other one. Rankin and Bass,
Yeah, that's true. They did the Return of the King. I
have to ask you a question.
Yeah, hit me.
About Lord of the Rings before we talk about Die Hard. So Amazon's Prime thing is today, right? And I saw that the Blu-ray was like $100 for the entire collection, and it had all of every single one of the movies. And I was like, wow. I have the DVDs of and the special edition extended cuts and all that stuff, but they're old and they're beaten up and stuff. But I was like, just a thought popped in my mind. I'm like, I will never have to buy it. Again, I would have to find, get a Blu-ray player, but whatever, so baby steps. But I was looking at the description, and they didn't have that whole Ultimate Edition. Excuse me. Didn't have the special edition behind the scenes features.
Right.
Is that true?
Here's the issue with the Lord of the Rings editions. That super edition that they did, the extended edition that has all the really incredible behind the scenes stuff. That's like, I wouldn't say it's the only version, but it's kind of the one that you're going to find all that stuff in. They did a recent one that I snagged, but I don't have a Blu-ray. I don't have a HD Blu-ray player. But they did one very, very recently it's a 4K upgrade to all of the movies, and they regraded them. Which is what happened is when the movies came out in theaters, they were graded, of course. They were digitally color graded to what Peter Jackson and the rest of his production team wanted the film to look like.
And they had a behind the scenes featurette on it too.
Yeah, and then they talk about it in the featurette. But the irony, I guess, is that the version of the movies that you are watching that documentary on were graded differently than how they appeared in the theaters. So the version that exists on DVD and has for a very long time is a very yellow orange graded version. So they regraded the movie for home video. For DVD and whatever various versions that were available at the time. So what they did more recently, and I have it. I wish I had it I could bring it over to the camera, but they did a 4K release of all of the movies, and they're regraded to be more like the original theatrical release, which is far less yellow. It's actually quite bluer. Way more realistic, naturalistic looking. but it's like a 4K HD Blu-ray version or whatever. So you need a special player just to run it. I don't even have that player. So but from what I've heard, I haven't even watched all the trilogy yet in that format. But from what I've heard, it's like the ultimate version of the films, and they upgraded they up-resed the visual effects. They didn't like Lucas 97 special edition, the special effects. All they did was bring the fidelity up. They didn't go back in and redo anything, which would have been criminal, because we don't have to go over my distaste for the 97 Star Wars, but it was they didn't do that. They just they upgraded the fidelity.
But what about the behind the scenes featurettes though?
So from what I understand, they are there, including some more stuff, but I haven't, because I don't have the player for this particular version. I don't know exactly.
Oh,
I don't know exactly. I haven't gone out to buy the HD DVD player, or I think I could do it if I had like a PlayStation 5, but I don't have a PlayStation.
There are like 4 people. Well, actually, it's getting better, but
It is getting better. Yeah, you know what? Supply line, man. Supply line.
like 20 million or something like that. But wow. All right. So whatever I was looking at doesn't have the behind the scenes feature. At least the reviews were complaining about that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's sort of like
time. So I wasn't sure if it was like, because they went through legal troubles, right? Or there was some like New Line, because the rights are all wonky too to the movies, right? Because
because of what happened to New Line, and I think that's why it took so long to bring out the 4K release, because of the rights issues. But I don't know. I mean, here's the thing: is I bought that digital one. Or no, I bought the physical one, but I also got a digital version. So I have all the movies in a digital format. They're just not they're not going to be 4K because they have to stream.
Right. Okay.
So I still really want to get the player and kind of do like a rewatch just to see how the grading. I've seen samples of the grading and it looks really nice. I was always bugged by the that, you know, the amazing addition where like each box was a different color, the like red, green, and blue.
Yeah.
But the grading was so yellow. It was so yellowed. It made it look like a classic painting, you know, where all the varnish is yellowed. I always hated it.
Wow. I never even noticed it.
Only because it's not how it looked like theatrically. It wasn't yellow like that. For some reason they graded it for home video.
I've watched the DVD so much that my memory of the theatrical version is completely gone, you know.
Yeah.
Arkbane said my favorite part of that one is when the physical actor playing Aragorn trips over his sword and they left it in and rotoscoped over it.
Oh, really? Is this in Ralph Bakshi's or in the Peter Jackson's?
I think so. No, that's probably
I mean, if we're talking about rotoscope, yeah, it would sound like Ralph Bakshi's. Oh, Ralph Bakshi's.
Hey man, he tried. That was back in the day when it was foolish to attempt it.
He got some killer stars out though. I mean, it was an all-star lineup for that.
Nobody cared about fantasy at that point too, which is kind of nuts, you know, to think about. Like no one cared about it.
Yeah, I think the only group of people that had tried to do the Lord of the Rings before Ralph Bakshi was the Beatles.
What are you talking about?
You've never heard of the Beatles wanting to do the Lord of the Rings?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know all the details.
You have 6 minutes to explain.
I have 6 minutes to explain. No, because I don't know all the details, so I can't really dig like really deep into this. But they did want to do the Lord of the Rings, and I think some of them wanted to play hobbits, and some of them wanted to play the more primary characters. but it didn't. This didn't occur. Like this
You
did not take off.
You messing with me?
No, this is 100% true. You can look this up after the stream. But they wanted to do this during their, little bit of fame that little tiny bit of fame that the Beatles had. Their 15 minutes of fame. I think they wanted to do it in like the mid to late 60s.
Yeah, that was their heyday. Kind of like Eddie Murphy wanting to be on Star Trek sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it wasn't very long after it had come out, right? This is, to them, it was like a really famous novel. So, to us, it would be like a really famous novel that was published and super successful in the early 2000s because it was published in the 50s. So it's
right.
So it's like
60s,
it's massive for them at the time, and it's also English literature, so it's even better than that.
Right. And they're also the Beatles.
And they're the Beatles.
They had some pulls. Wow.
But yeah, it didn't happen, but it would have been cool.
It's kind of nuts when you think about it, like during that time too, like Salvador Dali was worked with Walt Disney. Isn't that crazy? Like to think about the people that were there at the time. Like,
right, and it's like Salvador Dali was going to work with Jodorowsky for Dune.
Right, he was the Emperor. Yeah. They actually released. Dali did. Did you hear? The Dali project with Walt Disney.
No kidding. No, what's that?
Walt Disney brought him in to work on a short. And it was called Destino or something like that, and he did original paintings for it. And it went unfinished forever, and then they actually finished it, and you can get it. I think you could. I don't know if it's on Disney Plus, but you could watch it.
Wow, okay,
it's nuts. Yeah,
it's got to be on Disney Plus. Okay, Cranston Snord says the BBC reports that if the film had made its way into production, the cast would have been composed of Paul McCartney as Frodo, John Lennon as Gollum, George Harrison as Gandalf, and Ringo Starr as Sam. I would pay real good money to see that.
Wow. I like Harrison as Gandalf.
I do.
I kind of love it.
It's the last thing I would have thought. George Harrison as Gandalf, last thing. I would never expected that.
Wow.
But you know what? Knowing the Beatles, Paul McCartney as Frodo, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And Lennon as a Gollum,
honestly, that is...
They both need each other.
That's surprising to me. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. They both need each other. That works. I was going to say, like, Ringo as Sam makes a lot of sense, too.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. Wow. Incredible. Well, dude, it is...
did we make it? We made it.
We got 2 minutes left.
You're back into the blur zone. We stopped talking about Mexican food.
Dude. Back into the blur zone here. So we'll I guess we'll just call it. We got 1 minute left. So
you know what?
So
they're here for our voices, man. They're not here for our painting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm calling it on the dragon. I just signed it.
Rex Verdi said, I heard that JRR was down the road from where they were rehearsing for an album and complained about the racket.
Of course.
That might have been why it never happened. If that is true, that's incredible.
I guarantee you J.R.R. Tolkien hated Beatles music. I guarantee it.
He was a closet fan.
Well, he was a closet fan, but outwardly it was not on brand, and he hated it.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right, so Tyler, so you're done with this thing.
Yeah, I'm calling it on the Dragon Man. I mean, he's a
That's great.
dragon, not a dragon man. But
So what are you doing next week?
I don't know. But now that you mentioned Die Hard, I think I might need to do something from Die Hard.
Don't pull me off this thing. I got to finish this thing. Well, I think I'm going to keep working on this until I finish it. I don't know if it's going to end up being the next stream, but you know, there'll be a painting. I'll either be painting traditionally or digitally. So,
All right.
Yeah, Tyler.
I like how it's turning out, man.
Yeah, I think we're had a great, good stream today. Thank you, everyone.
I think we went well. Our
yeah.
Beers and mixed drinks kind of fueled the fire, I think.
It fueled the fire, yeah, and burned down my internet. Thank you.
No,
everyone.
you look good now, man. You're laser clean.
I'm laser clean now. But at least I sounded good. That's all. I'd rather the audio look good. So, well, I've been Ray Bonilla. You can find my work on at raymondbonilla.com or at Ray Bonilla Painter on Instagram. And who have you been, sir?
I have been Tyler Jacobson, and no, I messed that up. No, that's fine. I've been Tyler Jacobson, and you can find me at Tyler Jacobson Art on Instagram as well as tylerjacobsonart.com. And yeah, that's all I got to say. I'm going to work on something cool next week, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. And so thank you, everyone, for catching us, who caught us live in the chat. It's always awesome to have everyone here to hang out with. Love the questions. Thanks for fact-checking Tyler and proving him wrong. We really appreciate that.
Finally.
If you're watching this on demand, thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Consider subscribing, and if you like the video, hit a like. And also, if you want to keep up to date on when we stream, give us a follow on Instagram at Livebrush. We post all of our show announcements there, and also like cancellations and whatnot. So thank you very much, everyone, and we're looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
See you guys then.
Take care.